Hi guys, thanks for being here. Welcome to the channel. It's Darren. I hope you're well today. So what I'm going to do today is just basically run you through quickly. This is kind of like a test video to check that all the I'm going to run two different screens, so I want to check that it all works within my editing and it all comes out well. But what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to run through a bit of Assetto Corsa Comtetizione. So this has been the game that I've basically been playing most since I've got the wheel. So I've had the wheel set up now for about 2 or 3 days. And it's ready to be raced with. A lot of the first couple of days was actually fine-tuning and actually working out the settings for the wheel. So for me, I was really struggling to get a setting that worked well for iRacing. So I went online, I found someone who had a nice setting, used his setting for that. I brought it over to Assetto Corsa and it just didn't work, so I had to then play with it. So what I ended up doing, and I will show you guys this on here now, is I actually started playing about. So what I've effectively got here is 3 different presets so far. So number 1 is for Forza 7, so on Xbox, when I'm playing with that. Number 2 is now Assetto Corsa, is for iRacing, and then number 3 is Assetto Corsa. So you can see they're completely different all the way through for the different games. I've then got 4 and 5 left, so I could have something like Project Cars on 4, R-Factor 2 on 5, however I want to play with it. So currently I'm just focusing on these 3 games, and then I will kind of add more as I go along. But these are the settings I've worked out for R-Factor, for Assetto Corsa. After I've kind of played with it, what I've done is I've made the wheel a little bit more weighty, so it actually gives me quite a lot of friction, so I can actually feel the car a lot, and it feels a bit more hard to turn. I think a GT car would feel like that, I guess. So I kind of want it to be how I would think it would be to race. So yeah, I did that, and I basically got it ready. So I'm going to do some laps here. So the first thing I need to do is put my gloves on. Some people ask why people wear gloves for sim racing, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, you sweat, so using gloves obviously it gets rid of that sweat on your hands, but also a lot of the wheels are actually made of this Alcantara faux suede material, and as soon as you start getting oils on that and then you rub it with friction because you're turning the wheel, you're actually going to end up damaging or rubbing this off. So using a set of gloves will obviously stop that happening, because there's no oils or any water or residue getting on there. So that's why I'm using the gloves. I want to protect this wheel as much as I can. I've just bought it, it's a brand new wheel. I don't want it to get damaged anytime soon, so if I can protect them by using gloves, that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the single player practice on Kailami, and what I'm actually going to go into is what's called hot stint, and then what it is basically it's a stint of 10, you do whatever you want, so you could do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm going to do a 10-minute duration, and then what you end up doing is it says it urges you to be consistent lap times as well as being fast in a single lap. So basically you've got to 10 minutes, you've got to do as many laps as you can, as consistently as you can. So it's a bit of a test. So I've been running Kailami. It's been my kind of go-to track to start with, and the reason for it is it's got some fast sections all the way through the back here. These bits are pretty fast all the way through here, but it's also got some stop-starty bits as well at the top and the bottom of the course. So it just gives you a bit of an idea of kind of different variations within the track. So I'm going to run that, and I like the McLaren. I've kind of fallen in love with the McLaren as a car, and I'm actually going to go for, let's go purple. So yeah, let's start this session and let's have a go. So what I've ended up doing is obviously with the wheel you can do lots of different presets and do what you want with it. So what I've ended up putting is my ABS here, my traction control here, obviously gears are on my paddles, and obviously left and right is turning. So I've kind of set these with modes and things all around the wheel, brake biases, to use it as I need to. So you'll see me move those as we go around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a setup on, just a baseline setup, and I'm just going to put the aggressive preset on, just to give me a bit more of a kind of weightier car. So what I've been used to is obviously controller. The wheel is completely different to controller. The amount of vibration, the force feedback and everything you get through the wheel has helped me save slides and actually kind of catch things that I wouldn't be able to do with this. So I'm really enjoying it so far, and I hope that I can show you that in this video. So let's take this round and do some hot laps for 10 minutes. So I'm just going to change my ABS up to about 10, bring my TC to about 3, and I'm actually going to bring my brake bias up to around about 62. That just helps me kind of get the car stopped and turned in without actually kind of losing the back end like you saw there. So what I've been trying to do is kind of, I'm learning the course and I'm learning the car, and I'm trying to find the grip of the car. So currently I've been really kind of gentle on bringing it into the corners, punching it out the corners, and now I'm just trying to be a bit more aggressive and actually see where the end of the limit of this car is really, because I know there's more speed in it. I just need to actually push it a bit more. So what I like about this course is actually the next left-hander coming up after this one. It's a real fast downhill left-hander. So the one coming up just down the hill there, and you can really feel the vibration as you go through the corner. Sorry, the feedback as you go through it. So it really kind of pushes back on you. And it's a perfect example of why you would run a wheel instead of controller, to be honest. It really gives you the feedback. And what I've been finding is it's actually helped me catch, just like that, catch the size. When you can feel the car go light, it helps you actually catch it. You can predict what the car's going to do, whereas on something like Forza or a console game, you don't feel that. You just visually see it, and sometimes you visually see it too late, so you can't actually catch it. So that's something I'm finding quite a lot, is it's actually really easy to feel what the car is doing underneath you. The other thing I'm trying to get used to is I'm used to running the camera on the bonnet, which obviously I kind of don't want to do here. I want to run it like a sim, so I'm running it inside the car, which obviously means that I'm to the left of the car and not the right of the car. So it means that I need to learn and perceive the perception of where my car actually finishes that side. So I can actually get right close to the bumps and right close to the curbs and make the full width of the track. So I've got my settings, as you saw on that the Fan Lab, around about 30% on the force feedback, and I think that's enough for here. I have run with higher, and I've run with lower as well, and I quite like the 30 for giving me quite a lot of weight in the steering, what I think a GT car would have. But yeah, it's just kind of my preference of what I like, but obviously that's going to change for different people in different wheels as well. So I'm, as with the other videos, I'm running the Fanatec DD2 with the Club Sport V3 pedals and the Formula V2 steering wheel. So it obviously depends on what, if you're using something like the Logitech G29, or even if you're using like the Club Sport V2 2.5, you're going to have a different amount of force feedback. And I think I've ran this, I'll run my peak feedback, but I think I'm around about 6.2 is my peak torque. So 6.2 Newton meters of torque. I will check when I get to the really long fast left-hander at the end of the lap and see what my my torque is. I think it's 6.2 if I remember correctly from earlier. So I'm at 5.5 going through that one as a maximum torque level. This is what I really like about the Fanatec DDs, the direct drives. You've got the OLED display just up there, so I can actually read what it's doing, and as I go around the course I can see if I'm clipping on my feedbacks. I could do all that whilst I'm actually driving the course, instead of not feeling it and then I get back and I got then play with settings. I can actually do it on the fly. So I'm at 5.6 newton meters of torque at the moment. And then we'll check on this really long left-hander down here, and we'll see what it actually is. Just down here. So that was 5.4. And yeah, 5.9 here. The one thing that kind of I've had to really adjust to is actually my braking and my accelerating. So obviously I'm used to doing that normally on a trigger, and now it's moved to a foot. Now I drive cars and I have a car and I've driven carts and things, but it's been a while since I've done carts, and the way you drive a car or a van or whatever you drive, your daily drive is completely different to how you're going to race a wheel. So what I've ended up doing with the Club Sport V3 pedals, I've bought the brake performance kit, and I've actually kind of got them in the middle range of my settings. So I've got it kind of, I've got one hard and one soft in there, just to give me kind of a mid-range. I've tried to do it to all hard, and I just couldn't get the consistency right with it. It was just too hard, so I've ended up moving to a soft one, as well as a hard one. I've also got a damper on the accelerator, just to make it a bit more weighted as well, just so it's just not a pedal just going straight down. As it would be in a car, you have a bit of resistance there. And something I've actually done is I've actually ordered the Heusinkfeld Pro pedals, and they should be here tomorrow. Nope, day after, so it's a couple of days from now. They should be here, I'm hoping, which is something I wasn't going to do. I was actually really happy with my Club Sport V3s, but they come up really, second-hand is a really good deal, and I couldn't say no to them. So I will add them as soon as they arrive, and they really apparently give you a lot more consistency and a lot more feel through the pedals, because they actually feel like a racing pedal. So I'm looking forward to getting them and playing them. There's nothing wrong with this one. It'll be great for what it is, but I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to get a better set of pedals for a good price. So I'm actually finding this hobby is a bit of a black pit in the way of how much you'll spend on it. So the other things I've got is I'm a bit wide there. The other thing I've got is a a button box on the way, and also a Stream Deck XL to help me be able to have all these little settings that you can do. It's going to be mounted to this, and it's going to be my button box, and I'm going to have the Stream Deck as well, probably this side, to help me with extra buttons where I need them for different things. So overall with the wheel I'm very impressed. It's a very solid piece of kit, and it mounted to the GT1 Evo by SimLab. Really, it's a sturdy piece of kit. It doesn't give me any roll. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It's just solid. I really like this Club Sport, this Formula V2 that I've got. I'm really glad that I picked up this one with the advanced paddle module on the back as well. So I've got some extras as well. Gives me all the buttons I could need on the wheel. I'm going to get a kind of more of a GT rim as well eventually, and probably a couple other rims, but at the moment this one's great for me. It's doing the job that I need to do for me to get kind of used to the games and things. So I've got 1 minute 27 left on this 10 lap stint. 10 minute stint, sorry. My fastest is a 1:51.9. I'm going to see if I can get faster than that on my next lap. So I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to do a fast, hopefully, for me anyway, as a complete novice to this game, I'm going to hopefully do quite a good lap.
Session is now open.
So that's a quick one. That's 11:05.265 as a stint, and you can see there my fastest lap. So my last lap was my fastest lap, 1:49.3, and I had a couple 1:49s in there, so I was right on the pace of where I normally am around here in this sort of a setup. On the fastest laps on the qualifying, I'm about 47, so to be a couple laps off on this kind of stint one is about right what I think it is. So as I said, this is just a quick run through just to kind of show you the first game that I've been playing, which is Assetto Corsa Comtetizione. A bit of a quick tester video this is, just for me to check and see that everything works fine, and putting the two videos in together. I want to see that it works with the Streamlabs and it works great. So thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please give me a like and a thumbs up. And if you've got any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down there. As I said on the last ones, a great thanks and a shout out to the guys at SimLab for being able to get me the kit that I wanted, this GT1. They've been out of stock everywhere for ages, and they just can't make enough of them because obviously everyone wants them. They're great piece of kit. So they did a stellar job to be able to get me one, and I actually went over, as you see on my video, to go and see the guys and actually pick it up. So a massive shout out to them. I've already got some more parts on the way for things like the button boxes that I've been chatting to Rich about. So that will come soon in the future video. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.